Stephanie Bernard here to share another card with you. And we are going to create this card right here. It's a flip it card using one of my newer dies. And it says, "You mean the world to me." And we're going to open it up and it says, "Thanks so much." Isn't that adorable? Quick and easy. Now we're going to use a couple different products. We are going to use this stamp and die set that I designed for Sizzix. Now this has 8 different stamps as well as tons of dies. So it looks like there's 9 dies here. We're also going to use the flip it card that matches the Framelit. So we have Framelit dies that match the flip it card and the stamp set, as well as we're going to use one of my embossing folders, and this is like a crisscross pattern, which is really fun. Let me share with you 2 other examples by my friends. This was designed by Laura Williams using some of the same products. This is using the Princess stamp set along with the frame from this set, and also that embossing folder and the Framelits we're going to use. This card was designed by Jeannie Strife, and she used the flip it card we're going to use as well as the Framelits, but also my flower Framelit, and then again there's that stamp set that we're going to use. So again, this is the card we're going to create. I love pink and black. To me it just stands out so well, and my daughter walked in, my 15-year-old, she said, "Oh, I love this card, Mom, pink and black, pink and black." So I knew I was on the right track. When the kid thinks you're good, you're good. Okay, so here we're going to go. We're going to go ahead and start this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our die card base out. We're going to use our Big Shot machine, and we're going to use the pink cardstock. Now when you're die cutting this, there is a chance you might need a crease pad. The only way you'll know if you need a crease pad is once you've cut it. So I already know that I do not need a crease pad, so I'm going to use another cutting pad on top. So we're going to lay that on top and we're going to feed that through the machine. So I'm just using 2 cutting pads, my die, and a piece of cardstock. I'm going to run that through the machine. Move that off to the side. So now I have my die cut card, and I know it's hard to see, but there are 4 score marks on this card. I'm going to hold the wider end towards myself, and I'm going to fold it in half. So now the card is folded in half. I'm going to take the top flap and fold it back. That's all you have to do to create any of the flip it cards. Quick and easy, not intimidating, not hard, easy, easy, easy. They're all done the same way. So now I have the base of my card. So now what I want to do is I want to cut out using my Framelits, and I've already cut out 2 of these. So there we go, and I'm just going to simply layer those and add them to my card. Quick and easy, and they go inside each other so well. So we're just going to add this one to the outside, and I'm going to show you how easy these are to cut in just a second. Okay, I'm going to add that one. And I like to pull that over just to see where exactly, to make sure I'm lined up pretty good. There we go. Okay, so we got that started. So now we're going to stamp and do some fun stamping. Now I always like to stamp on a mat because you always get a better impression with anyone's stamps. And we're going to stamp on white cardstock, and we're going to stamp the nice little frame. So we're going to grab this, and I always love the Sizzix envelopes to store my stamps in. And I even have my embossing folder in here as well. They hold a lot, which is really nice. And we're going to use the oval scalloped frame to die cut that out. So we're going to grab a block, and let's see, let's use this one. We're going to grab this, and we need the oval frame. So we're going to, oh, that one doesn't even fit on there, so we need to find a bigger block. So let's use this one. So we're going to lay that on there just like that. And we are going to use black ink. Now I use my color box ink pads because there's no texture on the ink pad. It's just full of ink, lightly tap, no pounding needed. And we are going to stamp that right there. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the inside, and I'm using guava ink on this one, but I found that it's a little too bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it once off to the side, and the second time I stamp it, I'm going to stamp it right there, and I'm going to stamp it, and now it's a nice lighter pink. So a little bit different, so it's the 2nd generation of the stamp. Now I'm going to bring over to my die cut machine. And this time, because I'm using a thin die, I'm going to use the multi-purpose platform. Totally closed. I'm going to lay that down first. I'm going to add my cutting pad and my stamped image, and then I'm going to get my Framelit die. Now the nice thing about the Framelit dies is the cutting edge is on the very inside of this die. So when I turn this over, I know exactly where I'm going to cut. And I'm going to line that up on my stamped image, and I'm going to use a Post-it note to hold it in place. So now I've noticed that it's upside down, so I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to lay that right on top. And when you get that image lined up, you know exactly that it's lined up perfect. And then I'm going to put my Post-it note, and it's going to straddle the die. So it's going to go over the entire die, and then I'm going to run this through. So now I'm perfectly stamped, and I'm going to be perfectly cut out, which is fabulous. There we go. Now I have my nice little frame there, and I'm going to go ahead and add that to the front of my card. But on the inside of my card, I have thanks so much. So what I'm going to do, and this is very exciting, you'll notice, and let me show you this. Let's see how I can show you this the best way. You'll notice that this pink and this white are different shapes than this cutout here. Two different shapes, but they were cut using the same Framelit die. Different shape, but using the same die. Let me show you this. And I'm very excited about this because I've never done this before, and today I just kind of discovered it, and I'm pretty sure this is a new technique I've never seen before. And I know just about all the techniques out there, so you know there's usually nothing new invented. So let me show you, and I just trim my paper like that. So let's find those dies, and I always keep them in my nice little envelope so they keep them nice and neat. And let's see, which one are we going to use for this one? So this one is the white one, so we're going to use this one for the pink. So this is the pink one. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to run that through the machine. So I'm face down, blade down, and I'm going to run that through the machine. That's how easy it is to cut any of these Framelits. So now I'm going to pop that through, and I'm going to run this through that way again. I like to go the same way. So now I have the die cut out, right? So there's the Framelit, and that's what it cut out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around. So I'm doing it the opposite way. I'm lining this up, and I'm just going to line it up right there so it's lined up. And this is where the Post-it note really comes in handy, because I'm moving it because I'm nervous. So you're watching, so I'm getting a little nervous here. So I'm going to line this up. I'm going to lay my Post-it note right on top. And because I want this to be good, I'm going to use 2 Post-it notes. And while I'm running that one through, I'm going to save some time, and I'm going to run through the white one. So I'm just going to add the white one, and the white one's the little larger one. So I'm going to run that through on the first round. That side's dirty. Okay, so we're doing 2 at the same time. Okay. So that pink one was one shape, but now I turned it a quarter turn, and now it's going to be a completely different shape. I'm going to take off the Post-it notes, and you'll see that I've cut it a little different now. So I turned it, and I'm going to pop off the new type, the new one, and look at that. Before and after. So look at the pink. The pink before, same die, just ran through twice. Isn't that fabulous? Okay, so we have the pink. I'm going to do it again for this white one. So I ran it through the first time already. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to do a quarter turn of my die, and I'm going to line it up on those edges. So now you can look at all of your Framelit dies a little differently and see if you turned it just a different way, what other shapes you can get. I know I'm going to be playing with this quite a bit. So I'm going to run this through. So it's like getting 2 shapes for the price of 1. Fabulous! Okay, again, I'm going to take off all those little extra pieces, and now I have a totally different shape. So there's the after. Here's the before, and there's the after. Isn't that exciting? Okay, so let's move all that over. Let's see where we are on our card. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the little "You Mean the World to Me" on the front. I'm going to add that right there. And we can also add some little diamonds. I did on mine. And then for the inside, I also added just a cute little black stripe on this. And you can see I got a little dirty. Oh, no good, it's not dirty. So we're just going to add a little stripe. I just cut a little tiny strip just to add a little extra black and a little extra color to it. And I'm going to put some adhesive on this. And I always do this on scratch paper to make sure that I'm not getting adhesive everywhere. So we're going to add that just to the center. And then I'm going to cut this out. And I'm just going to turn it over and I'm just going to give it a little trim. There we go. And then I'm going to add my pink. But before I put this down, I'm going to stamp it because I don't want that black in the way of my image. So I'm going to stamp it and it's going to say thanks so much. So I'm going to switch out this. And to clean my stamps, I just use cheap baby wipes. I found that it's the cheapest and the easiest thing to use. And then I'm going to ink this baby up. And we're going to stamp that right there in the center. Thanks so much. And we just need some adhesive. And we are almost done. Look at this. Okay, so we're going to line that up. And we're going to add that to the inside of our card. And we just need to do a little bit of embossing. That's the next thing. I'm going to add that to the inside of our card. And it lines up nicely because we still use those same dies. So now we just need to emboss. And embossing is so much fun. I love to emboss because it just adds so much extra texture to your projects, and you can do some inking on your embossing folders if you want, but we're not going to. We're actually going to emboss just some black cardstock. I'm going to run this through. Now I always take tab 2 off and I leave tab 1. If it's too tight for you, you can take tab 1 off, but I like a really deep emboss, so I leave it on. And I'm going to run it through, so it's a little harder to run through, but it's worth it because you get such a beautiful embossed image. So now look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this image. Okay, so we're going to move that over to the side. And we're going to trim just a little tiny bit of it for the one side. So let's see. And so I did it a little crooked, so I want to trim this to make sure I get it nice and straight. Okay. So let's see, I want about 2 inches, I'm estimating, for this card. And let's add some adhesive to this one. Okay, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a lip on the outside right there. So I'm going to just line that up right there. Bring that down, straighten it up. Trim off the bottom. Now because this is a straight edge, I'm just going to run this through the trimmer. Just like that. Now I did feel that it needed just a little tiny strip over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to use a whole row of X's, which is kind of fun. So just going to line that up. Cut those X's. And I feel like that one's not perfectly straight, so I'm going to try it one more time. Because I want them nice and straight for this project. There we go. We're going to add some adhesive to this one. See how easy these flip it cards are? They're so easy, and it's fun because they wow people. They see them and they go, oh, how'd you do that? And you say, well, I cut it out. And they think you really cut it out. They don't realize it's a die. Isn't that fabulous? So I'm going to line that baby up. And this is easy to trim, so I'm just going to trim that little piece right there. And then just to finish my card off, I'm going to use a little tiny bit of ribbon on this black strip over here. We are almost done and ready to mail this card. Now flip it cards are 5 by 5, so you will need to use 20 cents extra postage. If you don't want to use extra postage, you can cut it down to be a rectangle, and then you would just use regular postage. And I'm going to tie a knot just to make it easier. Look at that, trim that baby down, trim that one right there, and there we go. You mean the world to me. Isn't that cute? The inside says thanks so much. So thank you for joining me for another card. Isn't that exciting? And I hope you try some flip it cards because they are tons of fun. Thanks so much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.